What is the relationship between personal experience and knowledge? By Lydia Davis. Personal experience is one of the main factors in a human's pursuit of knowledge. An avocado is my first object, and this represents the personal side of knowledge. My paternal grandmother grew up in a lower-class family in Georgia, whereas my mother came from an upper-class family, both in Georgia. One day, they were having dinner, and my mother put avocado on a salad. My grandmother had not experienced what an avocado was up to that point. Therefore, she placed the unknown object into a preformed schema, butter. In other words, she thought that the avocado was butter. A schema is an outline or prototype of certain categories. Humans gain knowledge through personal experience. We learn what we like, what we don't like, what tastes good, what looks good, and what works. Growing up in areas where certain foods are not common creates distinct categories of knowledge, as these concepts are present, or not, in different cultures, religions, and social classes of the world. An avocado can either be seen as an exotic food or a favorite spread, but this all depends on one's personal experience. My second object is a coach's playboard. Coaches use playboards to draw out certain moves players should make and how they should move on the field. This is often shown by using X's, O's, and arrows. These images don't make a lot of sense to someone who isn't familiar with football. My dad grew up playing football throughout middle and high school, whereas I, on the other hand, have not. Therefore, I lack the knowledge of rules, passes, and certain plays because of this. However, personal experience can also take on different forms, because each human's experience varies. A transfer of knowledge takes place in the learning and teaching of knowledge, which is apparent. For example, I played basketball for 10 years, and my coach used a board exactly like the football one, but with a basketball court as the background. Given this, I could probably deduce what is happening on the board with moves, but my knowledge is limited since, once again, I don't understand or know the rules of football. This shows the individuality and subjectiveness of knowledge, proving that knowledge is entirely dependent on personal experience and is rarely subjective, which is shown through my interpretation of football and my father's knowledge. My third object is a Cheerios box, but more specifically, the gluten-free label that appears on the new design. This certification shows that the product has been FDA approved for celiacs, as the product has less than 20 parts per million of gluten. So to both the gluten-free and non-gluten-free populations, the certified gluten-free label on a box of Cheerios implies the same meaning. But when factors like safety and comfort come into play, knowledge can become subjective. To some, products without the specific label would be overlooked, even though they could be naturally gluten-free. But for those with celiac and those who know and have actual experience, have at least basic knowledge of the ingredients that cause themselves harm and are potential risks. This allows them to accurately conclude whether a product is gluten-free with or without the label. The Cheerios brand of cereal has always been gluten-free, but up until recent years was not specifically labeled gluten-free. Though those, like myself, who had experience with being celiac and not getting sick from eating Cheerios before continued to eat them, people without this knowledge thought the recipe had changed. Given these examples, we can see how knowledge and personal experience are interconnected. If knowledge is true justified belief, as Aristotle stated, true belief comes inherently from experience, and experience drives curiosity and the pursuit of knowledge. Thank you.